Hello, today I have a pretty cool little effect to show you. So if you have ever been to the end, you will know that if you die, you will respawn by your cozy little bed. Now I don't like this, because the end is supposed to be the final level of Minecraft, and it's supposed to be hard, so I don't like that you just respawn naturally. So I've made a cool little effect here, where if you actually fall out of the world in the end, you'll actually fall from the sky in the overworld. So let me show you this in action. If I jump here and commit suicide, and fall down, when I die and respawn, I'm actually going to appear in the sky and fall down to the sky and crash to the ground. I am now naked, I have absolutely no tools or anything, and I am in the wilderness. I think this is a fantastic punishment for dying in the final level of Minecraft. Now the way this works is fairly straightforward. So what we have is, we have a little clock system in the end, which is testing for a specific scenario. So if the player is at -50, so what we have here is 0, 0, those are the X and Z coordinates, -10,000 is the Y coordinate, and 9,950 is the radius. So basically what that means is, it will test for anyone within 9,950 blocks of -10,000, and what that equates to is -50 on the y-axis. And then, if that's true, you will be added to an objective, well not added to an objective, but given a point in the objective Skyfall. Okay, Skyfall. Yeah, basically what that's for is just to determine if you've actually died from falling into the void. So if you get killed by an Enderman or something, that doesn't actually count as dying falling from the sky, basically. We then have a couple more command blocks in the overworld. So what this one does is basically, it tests if you're actually in the overworld. So it tests if there's a player at 0, 0, 0 within 100 million blocks. So if there is not a player within 100 million blocks of 0, 0, 0, then that's going to consider that player is either in the nether or the end. And the reason we're doing that is basically because if the player is in the end, then these command blocks over here are actually going to execute too early and the whole thing doesn't work properly. So after that we actually have a spread player command, and what that does is it basically just picks a couple coordinates, so 0, 0, and it basically spreads them to a random location within the parameters. Then what it does is it actually teleports you to 254 on the Y level, so you're right up into the sky, and then it actually gives you the resistance effect. So the resistance effect basically stops you from dying, because otherwise it kind of loses its effect if you just die from the fall damage. So you get about 10 or 8 seconds worth of resistance, and then you lose it. And then finally you are actually set back to 0 on the Skyfall objective, so that it doesn't trigger again, basically.